think it's really interesting because when I was thinking about it, I was like, what is actually the first step to living for yourself as opposed to other people? It's simple, but it's difficult because the first thing that came to mind was spending time with yourself. I am eating classic American breakfast, I guess. I remember when I was going to college, I wanted to leave, and originally I was like, oh, I was thinking about my family and what that would mean for everybody, because to a certain extent I felt like, not that my family like depends on me to live at all, like they're fine, but I was like, I can't leave them behind. And I think that was holding me back. Like the thought that they would think that. Because sometimes it's not about whether someone actually is going to think it's selfish and despise me forever. But sometimes it's like the fear that I have that someone's going to think that about me. If your self-critic is anything like mine, we kind of beat ourselves up for it. And I still beat myself up for choosing myself. I think there was a breaking point for me when I just realized that I was living way too much for other people, because I got to a point in my life where I was sitting there and looking around and being like, where I am isn't at all where I want to be, but it is the right place to be in the minds of other people. I thought it was going to make me happy and other people happy, so everyone was going to be happy. But then I realized no one really cares that much, and also, like, I'm the one who's experiencing it, so I kind of logicked myself out of it that if I'm experiencing this life and I don't even like the life that I'm living, I gotta do something about it. Okay, I've gotten to a point of doing work where I no longer feel like I'm being incredibly productive. I've really been wanting to make tom yum soup, so we're gonna take a crack at that. But it has some ingredients in it that I definitely don't have at home. So we're gonna go to the Asian market because I do not know where in the world to find these things. And we'll just see if it's there, and if not, we'll keep looking. I also think another good practice is to always kind of check back in with yourself. For example, if you've been working on a project for like a couple months and you're not really feeling it anymore, things like that, it's okay to like let things go and not finish it, because you can move on to whatever else life has to offer you. I feel like just because you're living for yourself doesn't mean you need to have lived by whatever the standard you had set for yourself, like X number of days ago, X number of weeks ago, or like a year ago or something like that. Like, you do owe it to yourself to like keep living for you, but you don't owe it to yourself to do exactly what you wanted to do when you were younger. Now's the time of the video where we take it to Pinterest and see if anything is helpful. Okay, we've got 10 ways to show up for yourself. 10 is a lot. I'm just gonna read the ones that I think are interesting. Commit to habits, practices, routines, and rituals that are good for your well-being even when you don't want to. Practice listening to your needs and discovering different ways of meeting those needs. Let yourself start again over and over as often as needed. Practice self-forgiveness for not being perfect, for forgetting, for your past, for what you don't know, and for getting off track sometimes. Like, all of this stuff is really related. And it's like, I feel like my perspective for a really long time revolves like the world looking in, like what everyone else thinks of me and how people see me and how I'm perceived. Whereas now, like with all of these things that are related to self-compassion and how to live for yourself and self-love, I feel like that is like completely the opposite point of view. It's like looking at me and really deciding like what I think is right and then placing my values on the rest of the world, rather than letting the rest of the world place its values on me. And I feel like it is such a significant shift that has been really hard for me to also keep undoing, but I feel like this all comes together in the part of how to live your life for yourself. I've been scrolling on Pinterest all day because I think the thing that I'm frustrated about is like all these things that I want to learn, like how to actually get to the place where I want to go, where I feel like I'm living my life for myself. Like I just feel like I don't find like much inspiration to do that. But I found this quote by an author. So the quote that I found is this, and it is quite long, but I thought it would be a really nice way to sort of like end the night and end the video, because I just think it's really encouraging to have like a legitimate reminder from like someone who talks about these things a lot. Your life belongs to you. It's not selfish to want your life to benefit you. It's not selfish to ask, what am I getting out of this? And if the answer is not much, it's not selfish to walk away. It's amazing to be humble and empathetic and understanding, but you are not a martyr. You're also allowed to be first on your priority list. Your life is something you create, not something you have to endure. Yes, you have to work hard to create the life you want, but it's better than living on autopilot, letting other people decide what your direction will be. I hope you step up to your life, that you realize that it's not selfish to want the best for yourself. It's not selfish to create a life that makes you happy. It's never selfish to build a loving, beautiful home within yourself. And I think that really sums up what we've talked about today. My penguin's name is Penny. Penny says hi. So yeah, I'm in bed, ready to wrap up the night. Today was a really nice day. Thank you guys so much for watching and talking with me about how we're gonna live our lives. Have a good one. I wish you the best wherever you are in the world. Don't be too mean to yourself. You'll pick it up no matter what. Thanks, Cam.